That's wrong. Hello, my people, and welcome to another day of telling stories. I am so excited to be back. You may notice things are looking a little bit different, eh? I'm so excited. Everything is up and running here. Not totally finished, but we're so close. I am going to be back more often because I've missed you guys and I want to talk to you and tell you stories. Segue for the call to action. You're welcome. If you have not already, please consider subscribing. You can then also ring that bell, Quasimodo style, in which case you will then know when every video comes up. We have to get into this story. And this story today, it came about just recently and it surprised me. Really shocked me, like a whole bunch. And it is, of course, talking about children's desire to wrestle their father. Now, I don't know where this comes from because I don't think it exists against the mom, but ever since they can do things, they want to wrestle dad, and they do, and they try really good. Even when my son was 6 months old, I was holding him above my head. I was holding him, oh, you're so cute, oh, I love you, and he'd just eaten, and he threw up right in my mouth, which then went in my mouth, and then it kind of went down, and it started gagging me, and I threw up right afterwards, and then I couldn't stop throwing. It was awful, and since that day, it has continued on that he wanted to wrestle. Same thing with my daughter. I don't know why children want to wrestle their fathers, but they do. Now, they go through different phases. As I said before, at 6 months, my son was already lobbing the curdle bombs. It was terrible. Okay, we're done talking about that one. But then, he gets to like three-ish, somewhere around there, and he wants to run from across the whole room, which doesn't actually help him, but he thinks that it does. So he runs from across the whole room, and he hits me, and I, of course, because I'm a good dad, I fall backwards, and I let him think that you knocked me over, son. Even though if I were to stand there and hold my ground, you would just, but I wanted him to feel like he was, yes, you got this. And then he got to be somewhere around like 5. And the problem was he wanted to practice on a speed bag, but the only thing at that level was, something you don't want practiced on as a speed bag ever, in any scenario, not at home, not at work, never. And we continued on competing in everything. We'd compete. He'd want to race back to the house. He'd want to wrestle. He'd want to play Nerf war. All of the things. We wanted to compete, and that's what we did. And I am not the type of dad who's like, oh, I'm just going to let him win because he's a kid. No. In fact, I never let him win on purpose. I wanted him to keep fighting. I'd let him feel like he was doing kind of good. Oh man, you're wrestling, and then in the Nerf war, you're shooting and whatever, but really I haven't shot all my shots, But then something weird happened. I remember puberty. I remember the voice crack and all of those. That wasn't even a real voice crack. That's me just going crack, But I remember those. I remember that. I remember the changes that but I didn't remember all of the things. Now, my son just turned 13. 13, can you believe it? It should make me feel old, but it just makes me feel cool. His voice has been cracking, so who's been making fun of him? Dad, because that is the right of the father, all right? That's what we do. I've been teasing him just a little bit. And what I didn't remember about puberty is that when the voice begins to crack, the muscle fibers also tighten. And it goes from boy muscles to strong boy muscles, nearly man muscles. I've encouraged my children to try any and every sport they want to do. They've tried football, basketball, baseball, dance, cheerleading, probably more that I can't even remember. But I want them to try and experience as many things as they possibly can. For the last little while, they've been doing jujitsu. Nothing had really been coming of it, but one day, just recently, I was wrestling with my son, just a little bit, just tiny, and I threw out a taunt. Stupid man. Come on, you've been doing jujitsu. Show me what you got. Don't ever say that. So he did. He turned around. He got up, and I was on my knees, and he kind of came, and he faked to the left, moved to the right, came around, got right behind me. All of a sudden, I go to remove his hand, and I apply the normal amount of pressure that I would always apply, and nothing happens. I apply a little more. Still, nothing happens. Uh-oh. He clamped down like a trap that holds a bear. A bear trap. and he's squeezing, and I can't get out, and I'm pulling against him, and he's got me there, and all of a sudden, my eyes are open, but my vision is closed. It's stopping. Now, I'm not proud of what happened next. I'm not unproud. But I was not about to tap out to a 13-year-old, nor was I about to be passed out by a 13-year-old. So I had to reach into the bag of wisdom, the old man tricks, I like to call them. And I used the trick that delivers an elbow straight to the solar plexus. And you know what? He let go right away. It worked just like it was supposed to. He didn't know that was a trick, but he does now. Now, I am super proud of him for knowing how to do that. I'm also super worried now that he'll come in and crush my trachea. You know what? Game up, gentlemen. All right, if you've got a kid and they are sub 12 years old, just be ready, because once they hit 12, all of a sudden things are gonna start to change. And if they hit that 13 and their voice starts to crack and you haven't experienced that extra little bit of muscle yet, the next time you wrestle, they're gonna clamp down and you're gonna go, sweet Lord in heaven. You don't wanna give up the throne at 13 like, oh, I guess I had a good run. Nay. No, I'll hold on to it for a while longer, I think. There's so many old man tricks he knows nothing about. And I will use every single one of them. Ye be warned. I hope you guys enjoyed that story today. For stories, reviews, and how-tos, this is the place you want to be. I will see you guys very soon, and until next time. I'm choking. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what that was. Keep telling stories.